Our adventures in parenthood have been the catalyst for many revelations, some rather mundane, others quite startling. One of the latter was what a gift it is to a child for his parents to have a large family. The current social attitude is that children are expensive, a bother, a burden, and a detriment even to each other. Having a second child is seen as, quote, not fair, unquote, to the first, taking, quote, things, unquote, and opportunities that the first or only child is seen as completely entitled to as a matter of course or as a matter of human rights. I don't know about that. As an adult, I am hard-pressed to remember the things that I envied my peers possessing. I do look back with a feeling of pity for my little friends who had only one sibling, or sometimes none at all. At the time, of course, I thought single-childness was a thing of beauty, of no fear of being burst in upon in the bathroom, of the blissful solitude of one's own room with perhaps a canopy bed. And all the linens matched the curtains. And maybe even the bathroom towels. Now, though, I know better. Even in the moments of greatest exasperation as a child, I doubt I would have gleefully chosen even my tormentor to trade for anything I coveted. I might even have been shocked had the idea been proposed. My siblings were a large part of a small world, headed, guided, and nourished by our parents. The world was taken entirely for granted, both because it was all I knew and also because I never realized what a wonder and a joy it is to have parents who know the true meaning of marital love, who gave so unreservedly of themselves so constantly and consistently, who always put their children first, and who sacrificed so much that we could have the greatest thing of all. Although we are still in the beginning stages of following Mom and Dad's example and providing our children with multiple siblings, we are getting a definite feel for what the sacrifices are, how much of oneself is given up for the good of the family, and what is really important to a child. Eddie doesn't care where we live, how we get around, how we dress, or even really what toys he has, as long as he is sheltered, dressed, fed, and has someone to play with him. As adults, it is difficult to maintain that level of non-expectancy. And the biggest challenge lies, for us, in keeping Eddie's perspective in mind and not letting our worldly perspectives get the better of us. Looking back over my childhood and talking to Mom and Dad and all the siblings about those childhood years, I saw for the first time that, according to the world, we were probably pretty poor. Dad worked what could be defined as multiple jobs, but he always made sure that us kids had lots of time with him, even if he had to bring us to practices and games with him to provide it. There was always a big adventure and consequently a big treat. Mom scrimped and cut coupons and made leftovers back into feasts for our battalion, but she did it with such nonchalance, even with two babies under 2, that the effort and struggle was never apparent as she sat at the foot of the table admonishing us not to reach. I tried to list the things we did not have growing up in order to show how they pale in comparison to the thing, capital letters, that we all have now. But it seems that those things are so pale that I can't even bring them to mind. But when we are back at our distant home, far from the family homestead and the siblings' respective residences, all the things we never had don't even have a chance to be as close to my mind as remote as I tried to raise my so far tiny family in the example that Mom and Dad set for us all. Love, Erin.
Aww.
Very nice.